Globalization is the way countries become more interconnected economically, socially, politically, and culturally. Globalization involves both benefits and risks. It integrates the country's economy to ensure a free flow of goods, services, knowledge, and technology across boundaries. If you come to think of it, globalization indeed is growing quickly. The advancement itself in transportation, communication, and technology had a profound effect on the geographic distance and connectivity at a new level of human interaction. Globalization today allows us to communicate our ideas with people around the world in seconds, while also granting us to travel to various places within a matter of hours. Globalization is not new for us, though as time passes by, people and later corporations have been buying from and selling to each other in lands at great distances. Multinational corporations develop operations worldwide and companies develop joint venture with foreign partners. However, globalization does have its problems and negative effects, so we need to learn how to reap its benefits and minimize its costs. To do that, we must understand its impacts, work to remedy the problems, work to spread the benefits as widely as possible. Everything must be balanced. The next topic I'm going to share with you is all about Bhutan. Bhutan people believes that gross national happiness is more important than gross national product. Gross national happiness is a holistic approach to develop pioneering vision that aims to improve the happiness and well-being of their people. They give more importance and focus on people's happiness and living status because the growth and development of people's lives is the growth of economy. The productivity and development of people's lives is also the economy's success. Bhutan's economy is small, yet they are very productive. They were able to provide people's needs such as free education and healthcare services. They primarily get benefits from their own natural resources. Unlike here in our country, Philippines, foreign countries get more benefits than us who owns these resources. Another thing, Bhutan's good governance keep their country pristine. Their way of balancing economic growth, social development, environmental sustainability, and culture preservation is very exemplary that every country should take this as an example or practice. If only the world sees this, we could have a so-called gross national happiness too. Next, I'm going to talk about the United Nations. The United Nations is responsible for ensuring peace, security, and cooperation between world nations. It has peacekeeping forces that are supplied by its member state. They are often sent to regions where armed conflicts has recently ended to discourage combatants from resuming fighting. The United Nations aims to protect human rights and provide humanitarian assistance when needed. It helps in the progress promoting development in the context of globalization and interdependence that enables to have human rights related mandates that aims in contributing to the protection and promotion of human rights through both immediate and long-term action empowering the population to assert and claim their human rights. The United Nations plays an important role also in social and economic development through its UN Development Program and organizations such as UN General Assembly, Security Council, International Court of Justice, and etc. Another is the idea of the North and South divide. Global South and the Global North prompting refer to the conditions of wealth, power, poverty, and inequality. South is known for less economically developed countries, and North is more economically developed. Some development gaps that pervade between the North and South as divided by the Brant line are the inequalities in natural resources. South serves as a source of raw materials for the North. Another inequality is the different levels of health and education. North has enough food and shelter and functioning education system. Another gap is the inequality in international trading policies and the access to markets and countries' vulnerability to natural hazards and climate change. Also, we have the regionalism. Regionalism is the formal process of intergovernmental collaboration between two or more states, a political process that gives cooperation among states to create institutions in a region. An example of this is the Asian regionalism. Asian regionalism helps the world providing leadership to help sustain open global trade, financial system, and provide a solid backbone to connect markets and people. It can help to sustain global economic progress at a time when other major regions are reaching economic maturity. It could help sustain the region's growth, support its stability, and with the right policies, reduce inequality. And it could help marshal a common response to a major new challenges that often arise suddenly and unexpectedly. And last but not the least is the global city. A global city is a powerful center of economic and cultural authority, a highly concentrated command point in the organization of the world economy. There are several ways to be considered a city as a globalized city. One is the wealthiness in terms of economical, political, social, cultural, and environmental aspects, having enough resources to sustain the needs of the city. Secondly is the independence of the city. Independence in the sense that they don't have to rely much on the resources or help of fellow cities. The advancement of technologies in different fields, being globally competitive, and having a well international flow. These are only some of the aspects to be considered in becoming a globalized city.